be haunted by 3 spirits. I'd rather not. I am the ghost of Christmas past. Haunt me no longer! What if you were given a second chance to get your life right? This holiday season, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future will give one man that chance. This November, Walt Disney Pictures and Image Movers Digital invite you to experience the classic tale like you've never seen it before in Disney Digital 3D and IMAX 3D. Disney's A Christmas Carol.
I don't think I need to tell you what the story of A Christmas Carol is. If you haven't even read The Christmas Carol story by Charles Dickens, or if you've never watched the show before, which I've covered this several times, then I'd like to welcome you back out of that rock you've been hiding in for the last couple of years. But short and simple story of Ebenezer Scrooge as he's being haunted by 3 spirits in order to uplift his Christmas spirit and basically get him on the right track to his life around. You know, he treats people around him so shamefully, and one night he's visited by his former partner, Jacob Marley, a partner who works with him at the counting house, and he says, "You'll be haunted by 3 spirits, the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future," all played by Carrie in this movie. And the film, of course, uses motion capture animation, same kind that was used in the Polar Express. This is the 3rd time Disney has taken on the Christmas Carol storyline. Mickey's Christmas Carol, The Muppet Christmas Carol. It's the first Carrie film in a Disney movie, and it's also his 2nd Christmas movie after How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And, of course, Robert Zemeckis also gave us The Polar Express, which was also a big holiday hit in the decade. One of the few holiday hits we had in this decade. So yeah, this is overall pretty much the same basic story of A Christmas Carol instead of following the previous adaptations in the last 30 years. This one basically follows the original story, which kind of surprised me when I heard that it was actually written as kind of a horror story, which is really what you need going into this movie. This movie can get pretty intense at times. I mean, there's definitely moments in here that are just so creepy in here. I mean, yeah, it's definitely one where, yeah, that PG rating that this has, there's definitely a reason why that PG rating is there. It's just like, don't expect to go in there looking for a cheerful, happy movie. No, be prepared for something that's a little bit more intense than you think it is, because it definitely is a more intense movie. I mean, there's times in this movie that will have you jumping out of your seats, but it will creep you the fuck out. I mean, one scene in particular that still kind of haunts me a little bit to this very day is like when the ghost of Christmas Future comes, and he's a shadow throughout much of it, and sitting in a movie theater watching it in 3D, he's riding, as you see the ghost riding around in like a shadow. You see it's basically a shadow of a horse carriage, and it looks like a normal shadow, but then the horse, like, it's looking this way at first, but then it slowly comes right at you. Like, it's a 3D movie, so it's literally looking at you. I was pushed back in my seat the first time I saw it. It's just like, holy shit. Like stuff like that. And of course, the scene where the ghost of Christmas Present dies is pretty traumatic, too. I mean, this thing is not playing it straight by any means necessary. And that's what I kind of love about this movie, is that it doesn't go for the sweet, simple storyline here. It goes for a little bit more of a closer feel to the adaptation to the original book overall. And for that, I got to give it a lot of points for that. I really love this one. This is probably one of my favorite versions of A Christmas Carol ever. I mean, you got Robert Zemeckis, one of my all-time favorite directors, doing this. Doing a very good job overall. I think Jim Carrey does a very good job as Scrooge and the 3 ghosts. And the rest of the cast overall is really good. You've got Gary Oldman playing Bob Cratchit here. He's always going to give you somewhat of a good performance. And he's really good in this. I mean, regardless if he's playing it straight or over the top. Because there's times in this movie where he plays different characters. He plays Cratchit, and he also plays Jacob Marley, Cratchit's good. Marley is where he really goes over the top with it, and it's supposed to be scary, but it really is not. It really comes off as like, what are you doing? Like the whole thing with him with his elongated jaw, and he's just like, mankind was my business. Like that type of stuff gets on your nerves pretty quickly, and it's just like, I mean, you didn't need to do that. Bob Hoskins is very good in here playing Fezziwig. Colin Firth, Robert Penn, they're pretty good in here too. But really, it's Jim Carrey leading the charge here, and he does a really good job of handling that. I thought the motion capture overall was really good. I think it's definitely a lot better than it was in Beowulf. And, this was probably the last good time that the motion capture really comes to play here. Because following that, we have Mars Needs Moms, which was the film that literally killed this company of Image Movies Digital before it really got going. I mean, Christmas Carol was really their one shot to show everybody that, hey, this is what the future of animation is going to look like. And then you follow up with Mars Needs Moms, it's just like, okay, never mind. Yeah, we're shutting you down. The biggest argument about motion capture animation is that the whole purpose is to give an animated character a performance of a real-life actor. Well, if that's the case, then why not just do it with real live actors? I mean, you could still have Terry as Scrooge and the Three Ghosts and still make a live action movie. I mean, Night at the Museum of 3 came out about 5 years after that, and they had a scene where Ben Stiller's not only playing Larry Daly, but he's playing one of the cavemen who thinks he's his father. And that's something that you could do in a movie like that. But it's something you could do in a movie like this as well. But I mean, I was glad to see that Robert Zemeckis did get back to live-action form after that with A Flight and The Walk, which I thought were really good movies overall. And again, the story overall is really well done. You could see that they're trying to follow Dickens' original concept for the story, which is supposed to be his ghost story, something you rarely see in the adaptations. I mean, there are creepy elements, and they really are. The departure of Ghost of the Christmas Present, the stuff with the Ghost of Christmas Future. I mean, this is definitely stuff you wouldn't expect to see in a Disney version of this. Maybe in the more adult versions, but not for Disney. And I like the fact that Disney went dark when they needed to. But at the same time, it does go a little bit too far, but never to the point where I would say that it ruins the film overall. But the film overall is really good. And seeing it in 3D was really great to see. Like, there's a great part where the Ghost of Christmas Present takes Scrooge out of his home, and he's lifting the floor that they're in. And it literally feels like you're on somewhat of a ride, because you go from the house to an overview shot of the city of London, and it's really well done. Like in 3D, you feel like you're there. You feel like you're right there as it happens. And that, you got to give the movie its proper credit overall for that. But not only that, though, it does have some good emotional moments. I think the one that everyone really talks about with this movie is the part where, during the Ghost of Christmas Future segment, of course, Tiny Tim has to die in that part. And there's a part where Bob Cratchit is trying to keep it together in front of his family, which he does. But then, as soon as he gets upstairs, not knowing that Scrooge and the Ghost of Christmas Present are right there, and Scrooge is just like literally standing right in front of Bob Cratchit, and you just look at Cratchit. He's completely he's been crying, and it makes sense because that's his son. His son is dead, and he's just looking straight at Scrooge. And Scrooge can't go anywhere else. He has to look at what his actions have done to this guy and his kid. And it's just like, stuff like that really makes this one a whole lot more, because that's just such a great scene. Doesn't have to use any dialogue. It's just one single scene, 2 shots. One of Cratchit looking straight at Scrooge. The other Scrooge looking straight at Cratchit. Scrooge has nowhere to go. He just has to look at this. I mean, that right there, stuff like that makes this movie worth it. It's not the best adaptation of the story. I think Scrooge and Mickey's Christmas Carol are better retellings of the story, but this is still a really good movie. It is one of the stronger adaptations of my favorite story of all time. The performances are great. The visuals are nicely done. The animation is great. And the story recaptures Dickens' original version of the story to a T. It's a really good adaptation of the tale, and I think it deserves a lot more attention. It's one I watch every Christmas. It's a great, great adaptation. It's probably my favorite overall Christmas movie of this decade. Now, I know Elf and the Polar Express are much more beloved, as well as The Grinch, but this is the one I always go back to. Like, every holiday season, I have to watch this at least once. So, yeah, I really like this one a lot. Disney's A Christmas Carol.